We begin tonight with Flight 370. The major new clue, was it deliberately brought down? All of this comes 1 year, 4 months after that plane vanished with 239 on board. The new clues from that piece of a wing discovered on a remote island. A number etched on the side. Tonight, authorities telling ABC News it matches a Boeing 777. Of course, we know there's only one missing in the world, and the angle of that flap, a clue about how the jet may have gone down. Also tonight, the suitcase washing up too. ABC's Jim Avila leading us off.
Helicopters today searching the shores of Reunion Island. Tonight, a battered suitcase found on a beach. No clues yet about its origin. While on shore, local police load the sea-worn but crucial wing part into an evidence van and strap it in. The first leg of a long trip to France tomorrow, where investigators tell ABC News they will start the critical CSI work on the floating debris.
The important thing is to make sure it's clearly identified as a 777 part.
A reliable U.S. government source tells ABC News Boeing engineers have seen this number, 657BB, on the debris, and it matches a 777. The critical part is called a flaperon.
The flaperon is in this area of the wing.
It helps the plane turn and is also used to slow the plane down for landing. Experts say it looks like the flap was extended, leading them to the initial conclusion that MH370 may not have been in a steep dive when it disappeared.
What I don't see is a severe nose-down impact. It looks like it's a little bit higher than that, and that the flaps are deployed, which would be normal if you're trying to fly the airplane slowly.
So you're trying to land it, even if it's in the water.
Possibly you're trying to land or ditch the airplane.
Even though the distance to the Australian coast where searchers have been focused is 2,600 miles, it is possible that plane debris would float all that way. But drift patterns are not precise enough to dramatically narrow the search. A piece of wing on Reunion Island, it's very hard to trace back to exactly where it crashed.
If you mean exactly within, 10 miles, even 100 miles, you're right. But to say it generally came from the eastern Indian Ocean is definitely possible.
Marine biologists will take a hard look at the sea life from the age and type of barnacles and microorganisms for clues.
May be able to identify specific species that have been growing and identify those are they warm water or cold water.
David, as ABC News first reported a year ago, U.S. intelligence authorities believe this crash was likely a deliberate act by someone in the cockpit and not an accident. They emphasize, however, that that's an assessment and not a conclusion. The conclusion will be made by French and Australian investigators. David?
All right, Jim Avila leading us off again tonight. Jim, thank you. I want to bring in retired Colonel Stephen Gagnier to pilot himself. And Steve, I want to take our viewers back to that piece of wing, because the angle of that flap and how intact the debris is, as you heard Jim report there, leading some to believe that someone might have deliberately done this. What do you think tonight?
Yeah, David, I think you're right here. There are two scenarios at the end game of this flight. Everybody was unconscious. The airplane went in at a very steep angle. What we're seeing here on this debris is something that's intact, which opens the very chilling possibility that there was somebody alive, conscious, and trying to land that airplane after it ran out of gas.
And Steve, when you hear that that number has been linked to a Boeing jet and there's only one 777 missing, do you have any doubt tonight?
I don't have any doubt, David. The problem is that this piece on the other side of the Indian Ocean is not going to tell us where the rest of the wreckage is on the bottom of the Indian Ocean, where that black box is, and it will not bring us any closer to solving those mysteries.
All right, Colonel Gagnier with us again tonight.